Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Arun Kumar and today I'm again in front of you with one of very important topic with regards to cloud platform, that is what are the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. If I elaborate each of the three terms, then IaaS denotes infrastructure as a service, PS denotes platform as a service, and SaaS denotes software as a service. If you are working in any of the cloud platform like Azure, AWS, GCP, okay, these three terms are very common in all of these three cloud pro- cloud providers. So let's jump into these topics. Let's see what all things are there in this service and what are the examples of this service. I'll be taking example from the Azure cloud, that what which service comes under IaaS, which service comes under PaaS, and which service comes under SaaS. Okay, so let's jump into that. Let me take you to my screen, and first of all, before proceeding ahead, let me show you a diagram that I have. Okay, if you see this diagram, okay, there are few important things like data center physical plant building. Okay, this is a I mean this is denoting the data centers. This is denoting the network firewalls and security, like I mean your infrastructure, your machines can be accessible from which network. I mean that is called as network firewalls and security. Now we have something called servers and storage. Okay, these are servers on which your data is kept. Apart from this, we have this operating system like Windows, Unix, all those operating systems. Then we have development tools, database management, and business analytics. And then we have one more thing that is called as hosted application. Okay, so IS, PaaS, and SaaS has been divided with the help of these measure. Uh, with the help of these measure, I mean these measure what we can say uh, in these measure objects. Like if I tell you what all things comes under IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. If I read the general definition of it, it simply means infrastructure as a service is a type of cloud computing service that offers essential compute storage and networking resources on demand. IaaS offers compute net storage and networking resources on demand. Okay, and these three things that has been written down here. These three things provide compute, net storage, and networking resources. Okay, these three things that has been mentioned here provide the compute, networking, compute storage, and networking resources. Okay, okay. So if I take some of the example, if I explain you with example, then if I take example from Azure cloud, then we have something called Azure Virtual Machine, Azure Blob Storage, Azure Virtual Network. As example of these IaaS service, that is infrastructure as a service. What are these things? These are the infrastructure that are provided by Azure cloud platforms to organizations or to its vendors to to do their development without thinking about the infrastructure part. They don't have to think about the networking. They don't need to think about the hardware component, because this Azure VM will be fulfilling the hardware component. They don't need to think about the networking. This Azure virtual network, with the help of Azure virtual network, they can create their own private network and do develop and safeguard their their network. Now, apart from this, we have this Azure Blob Storage, which is a kind of data lake, and that is used for storing your data. Storing your data, and that's what here I have written: compute, storage, and networking resources. So if you notice this, if talk about this storage, this blob storage is a part of this. I mean, is a kind of a storage service. If I talk about this Azure virtual machine, this is a kind of compute machine. This is a computer. This virtual machine is nothing but a computer that we can access remotely, right? So this is an example of this compute resources. And if I talk about Azure virtual network, then this is part of networking resources. Okay, because with the help of this we can bring any IT infrastructure inside a network, inside a virtual network. So these were few examples related to IaaS. So what are the benefits of IaaS? Okay. So IaaS helps us or helps developers or our organization to bypass the IaaS lets you bypass the cost and complexity of buying and managing physical servers and data center. It helps us to bypass the cost and complexity of buying and maintain the physical data centers. Okay, physical servers. Okay, because maintenance of servers are very typical task, right? We need to deploy a lot of man force to maintain the servers, and by using IaaS we can bypass this thing. Okay, what we can do, we can just take on rent from Azure the virtual machine or any other service. We can use that and we'll be paying only for that. Every responsibility lies at the Microsoft end to maintain the server. Now let's talk about what is PS, that is PaaS, or you can say platform as a service. Platform as a service. Okay. If I talk here, then PaaS includes all the things that were under IaaS, that is server, storage, network, firewall, security, data center, physical plant, and building. Plus, it also includes operating system, like if any virtual machine is there. Okay. If I would have just choose the virtual machine, okay, we could install any operating system. But when I choose the PaaS, that is platform as a service, in that Microsoft itself installs the operating system. Microsoft itself installs the operating system and they give that to us. Okay. Now we have something called database tools, database management, business analysis. Okay. So it also gives some development tools to us, like suppose for handling, like suppose if I show you with an example. Okay, if I talk about some examples of PaaS service, just pay your attention here, this is really important, otherwise you will keep on finding or keep on googling to find the services, that what are the examples of IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. It will be very time consuming for you. I have brought this by doing a lot of research in front of you, so just bear with me for some time. If I talk about the PaaS services, then in this PaaS services we have something called Azure SQL Database, okay, and Azure App Service. Okay, this Azure App Service provide all the things. It provides development tools, operating system. Of course, it is a app service, so it also provides servers on which the development tools will be installed. It also provides networking things, so that we can access those PaaS services from internet. And of course, if we are getting servers, it will be placed in some of the data centers. Of course, we are getting the data centers as well. So it includes all those components. And as I said, with Azure App Services, we can do our web app development in any language like .NET, Python. Okay, there are many other languages that it supports. If I take another example of PaaS, then we have something called Azure SQL Database. Okay, this is a database this is a database that is given by Microsoft. Okay, so we also get database management tools here. Okay, database management tools here. Okay, where we can, with the help of which we can query our database. So all these things comes under PaaS. So if I talk about the definition, then platform as a service, PaaS is a complete development and deployment environment in the cloud. It is a development and deployment environment in the cloud with resources that enable you to deliver everything from simple cloud apps to sophisticated cloud enabled enterprise applications. Okay, so here I have written that PaaS includes infrastructure. In PaaS, infrastructure is included. I mean, these infrastructure is included that were there in IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, service storage and networking. But it also include middleware development tools, BI services, database management system. Okay, database management system. Okay, and more. Okay, now let's come to SaaS, and if I elaborate it, it can be elaborated as software as a service. And these are the final final software that the end user uses. Okay, these are the nothing but the final software which the end user uses. If I take some example like the Teams that we are using, the Outlook that we are using, the Gmail that we are using, these are the final application that we are using, and these things we can access from our internet. Okay, and we just use it. Everything is managed by the cloud provider, like storing the data. Like I am writing something in Teams, that is stored at some data center of Microsoft. Or if I'm sending mail, that is stored at any data center of Microsoft. The mail that we have in our mailbox is of course stored somewhere. So that is stored at some location of some data center of Microsoft. Okay. So we are just using the application. We are just using the application. If I take some of the example, then we have something called Microsoft 365. Earlier it was called as Office 365. Now the name has been changed, and we have another service called Azure DevOps service, with the help of which we do the deployment of pipelines from development to UAT to production. So these two services in Azure are examples of software as a service. Okay, here I have written that software provides a SaaS provides a complete software solution that you can purchase. We can directly purchase and we can pay as much we use. Okay, we can purchase on pay as you go basis from cloud service provider. Okay, so you see how much easy it it has done our work. Okay, if we didn't had these SaaS services like Microsoft 365, we didn't had this Outlook to send emails or to receive emails, we would have to build this all system from scratch, like how we'll be sending mail, how we'll be receiving mail. So it will be a burden to organizations, right? It will be a burden to any organization. They will not be able to focus any their main business area. Like suppose if they are manufacturing medicine, so they will not be able to focus on that. Okay, so you see how much beneficial it is for these things are for organization. And if I show you the diagram for SaaS, then in SaaS includes all the things. I mean, PaaS plus hosted application, whatever applications are hosted, like Microsoft Office 365 is already hosted. We take subscription from Microsoft to use Outlook, to use Teams, right? Those applications are already ready. So SaaS is the umbrella under this. I mean, this PaaS comes, and under PaaS, this IaaS comes. Okay, IaaS is the most basic form of IaaS is the most basic form of IT infrastructure. Okay, and with this IaaS, okay, on top of this IaaS, PaaS is built, and on top of PaaS, SaaS is built. Okay, so this was regarding IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And many of you might be confused regarding like what all these things are. What are the examples? What are the services examples of few Azure services which fall under these categories? So I have bifurcated that under IaaS you can think examples like Azure Virtual Machine, Azure Blob Storage, Azure Virtual Network. Under PaaS platform and service we have Azure App Service, Azure SQL Database. Okay, so without configuring these things or without configuring like SQL database, those things are directly available on the servers. We just need to insert our data. We don't need to think of installing that software also. Okay, it is just ready in the ready to go mode. Okay, we can just start inserting data, start doing our queries, all those things. And now we have SaaS, software as a service. Under SaaS, this Microsoft 365 comes, Azure DevOps services comes, all these things comes under the SaaS type. I hope that you like this video. If you have any confusion, you just comment on my comment box, and of course, I will reply whenever I will get time. Do connected with me because I am covering all syllabus of AZ-900 Azure Fundamental Certification. So these topics that I am covering are very much important for clearing those certifications. So I'm picking up the topics one by one and covering the topics one by one. So do connect it with me and watch these videos and crack your AZ900 certification. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.